Alright folks, my plan is simple. I need to come up with my biggest neighborhood yet. I'm looking to get Big Town Achievement today because we need to unlock so many things. Also, I'm missing too many people. As you can see, I don't have enough to fill all the jobs that I've created, and that's a bit of a problem. And probably the most crucial reason is money, as I'm not making any right now. So, without further ado, let's start planning out the city of ours. Also guys, if you do like my videos, please consider subscribing, as that does help me out. Alright guys, I think I got my basic layout here. We just need to actually make this into its own proper zone. So let's get that going. There you go. It's always fun trying to make these look good, but I think I did a fairly good job of that. And let's actually go with something different this time around. I'm a little bit tired of placing all of these buildings myself. So, let's go with, I'm thinking mid-century modern. Not really sure how that's gonna look, but we're gonna go with that anyway. Also, I do want to have these guys out here. You have organic and local produce only. So we'll see how that's gonna work out. And I don't think we're actually gonna need anything else out here. So the basic plan out here is to grab myself a medical clinic that's gonna be able to reach pretty much anywhere out here. So I'm thinking of placing this guy right about there. I think this is gonna be fine. But that should be reaching pretty much everywhere, except for a little bit out here, but I'm not too worried about that. Water lines. Sorry about that. My forgetful self always forgets about everything necessarily for my city to survive, like water lines and electricity. But we got that figured out now. So where was I? I was out here talking about the hospital. So there's only a little part out here that's not being reached. I'm totally okay with that since the majority of my population is going to be out here. Also, we do need a fire department, and it looks like we are starting to lose a little bit of money, so hopefully we're not going to be losing too much. I'm thinking of putting everything out here, so we're going to be putting fire department out here. My police department is going to be going out here. So I think that's pretty much all the necessary things we need out here. My general plan is to have these areas out here to be low density residential, so I think there's going to be no problems with that. Then we're going to grab these guys out here. That should be fine. I'm also thinking these guys out here. That should be fine as well. So this is going to be my low density residential. Then out here, I'm planning to have my high density eventually, once that gets unlocked, and that should get unlocked relatively quickly. Also out here, and the majority of my stores, they're gonna be out here, commercial. And I'm not really sure what I'm gonna be doing with these two areas just yet. We're gonna get there eventually. I am planning on having my high school area to be out here, with possibly my elementary school being out here, or something along those lines. And actually, before I forget, we do need to add a couple of these paths out here, just to make sure that these guys can actually get wherever they need to with a little bit more ease, you know, so these guys actually don't have to be running all the way here while they can actually just run out here and get whatever they need. And since we're waiting on some electricity, I'll do the unthinkable. I'll put my power lines right here in the zoo. That's gonna go eventually. I'm just waiting for these guys to expand as quickly as they possibly can. And let's take a look at these houses here. I mean, they look pretty nice. Nice. I mean, nothing too crazy, obviously, but I mean, look at that. Like, pretty much. Well, I'm saying nothing too crazy, and then I actually opened my eyes and I saw that, like, all of them have pools. So that's actually pretty crazy. But these guys are probably gonna need some parks. And I'm thinking of having, like, a dog park out here. I think that's gonna be a nice addition. And right here, let the dogs roam out there. I'm totally fine with that. Not my problem, you know. And then maybe like a bouncy castle for kids. I'm thinking of putting this guy like right about here. Maybe like so. Actually in the middle. I think that's gonna be fine. So it covers a bigger area. And now we're just gonna be waiting out here. Sitting and waiting for these guys to expand, which I hope is not gonna take too long. Alright, while I was waiting for the houses here to build and for me to actually start making a little bit more money, I went around and made sure that the traffic is going to be moving smoothly here in the city. So, we got that under control, thankfully. I'm not really sure what happened there just now with everybody being unhappy there for a second. So that's alright, but... Oh, hold on. Do I have water? Oh, yeah, we have water shortages, guys. We have water shortages, so we gotta fix that real quick. Fortunately, that's an easy fix, and actually not that expensive either. I mean, these guys are only like 3K. That's actually very, very cheap, and I like that. That could have been what was going on here. They could have been missing some of that water. Anyway, in order to have these guys upgrade a little bit faster, they need to have some education going on. So currently, elementary school, my only elementary school is not able to handle all of these. My high school is able to handle all the people, so we're gonna start with the elementary school here. And I'm thinking, since this is gonna be one of the roads into the city, I don't want a road going out here, so I think this is gonna be our best bet. So we're just gonna be putting this guy right about here, nothing too crazy. Then we're just gonna grab this little elementary school, or actually we could wait a little bit and put a high capacity elementary school out here, since we are gonna have quite a few people moving into this area, with high density residential being here, possibly out here, although that might be a bit too much. But we're gonna find out the hard way. And just so I don't have to wait for too long, I think we're just gonna go take this loan. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear, but my son in the other room is being a little bit noisy. So if you do hear that, I'm sorry for that, but that's my life, and I'm loving it. Anyway, so now we do have a high capacity school, so we shouldn't have a problem here with any schooling for a long time. And also, these guys out here do need a parking lot for obvious reasons. I'm sure you understand that. Oh, this is not fitting in. This is not fitting in, but actually quite a bit. But I think this right here should be more than enough. Maybe. I mean, we could put a couple of parking spaces out here as well. And do we have problems with electricity? And yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh man, always happens. Always happens when I start a new neighborhood. So let's take a look at this guy. So pollution is only 10 compared to this guy, which is 50. So out here, I think this is going to be fine. I'm just going to put this guy like right here. There is going to be a little bit of pollution, but I think these guys are going to be able to survive that. Hopefully it's not going to be too much. And let's just bring this guy a little bit up just so we don't see that dip in the ground. This might look actually, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, if we bring the road up just a tiny little bit, I think that's going to be all we really need to do. So just a tiny bit. There you go. Okay, maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, I think this looks alright. It looks fine. And then we're going to be putting a bunch of trees out there when the time comes. But for now, I don't think that's really necessary. So where were we? We are here losing a bunch of money. For whatever reason. Let's take a look at what's going on. Alright, so there's only a little bit of weekly loans. I mean, the hotel expenses, I mean, we are losing maybe about 200. So that's not really a big problem. Parks, fire department, so we really need everything here. Water and electricity. I think we can put that down a little bit. That's where the majority of my money is going. Okay. So taking a look at that, we don't need that much. So we can actually put this down to back to 100%. Actually, I could have put water to 100%. That could have worked out. Should have checked on that, but I did not. So let's take a look. 140. I think we can save a couple more dollars here. So let's put this down to maybe 85%. I think 85% is going to be exactly what we need. Oh, that's exactly what we need, actually. If anything else gets built, that's not getting anything at all for electricity. So let's fix that a little bit. Okay, I'm fine with that for now. Water looks like it could use a little bit of a nerf. So let's put this down to 60%. And take a look if that's going to be... Okay, yeah, that's what definitely too bad of a nerf. So let's put it at 70%. 70%, there we go. Taking a look. It's just barely there. Just barely there. Okay, let's just put this back to 80% where it was. Okay, there you go. Now we have like too much water. But I'm tired of playing around with that, so we're gonna forgo that. And while we wait for some of this money to come in, I think we have enough time right now to play around a little bit, just a little bit with some of these paths. Make sure that we have enough for people to get around, so they're having a bit of an easier time. Because, you know, the more they can walk around, the better it is for us. Because then that means they're not going to be driving around, which is perfect. And that's exactly what we're going to be trying to accomplish here. And hopefully with time here, we're going to get enough money. Because right now it doesn't look like we're doing too great of a job. But give it time, guys. Give it time. These guys need to upgrade a little bit. And once they do, that's going to make a whole lot of difference. So for example, this guy. They need more education. And I'm guessing that means a high school. Obviously, we have an elementary school, and everybody here should be okay with that. Maybe even a public library. We could add that somewhere. Not really sure where just yet, but we'll do that in a moment. High school looks like everybody got the capacity for that. Everybody should be happy with that, yeah. So we're just waiting for these guys to actually get educated a little bit. And once they do, they're gonna start upgrading, and that's gonna be exactly what we need. So I'll give it a few moments here for these guys to actually upgrade. And while I do that, we're gonna continue on playing with some of these paths out here. I hate doing this, but I really don't have a choice. I gotta destroy some of these buildings to fit our road in here, a path in here. And I absolutely hate doing that. Destroying these houses, I mean, they didn't do anything wrong. They were just here, you know. Now they're not. And I feel for them. I really do. I really do. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Maybe get rid of these guys out here just so they're not building like small houses. Because that's going to look ridiculous. I'd rather put a couple of trees in here to make it look better, because that does not look good. I mean, like these 1 square houses, they look absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. And we're going to clean them out. But there we go. There we go. This is a little bit better now. This is a little bit better. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. Not by much, but just a tiny little bit. Which is hopefully gonna be enough. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, man. It's a lot more work if you do it afterwards than if you do it right off the bat. So, my suggestion for you guys: plan this out a little bit better than I do. You're gonna thank me later for that. I think that's the last of it. I think that's the last of it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is much better now. Okay, so we got that figured out. And we got a little bit of money. Is that enough for... No, it's not enough. It's not enough. I was thinking if it's gonna be enough for a public library, but that's almost 30k. And we currently do not possess that much. And it looks like these guys refuse to get upgraded at the moment, and I'm wondering if... Okay, it's not because of the high school. That seems to be doing just fine for now. We'll see how long that's gonna last. Oh, and we got a great fire raging on out here. I mean, look at that. These guys are getting annihilated. And that's most of my commercial for this town out here. I mean, I got half of it here and the other half here. This is not good. Well, let's take a look at these guys, how they're faring. So it looks like we can do a couple of things here. I mean, these guys are not very popular. This guy is pretty popular, so we can actually up the price on that. And while we wait to make a little bit of money, let's take a look at our traffic here real quick, make sure that everything's good. And it looks like it is. I mean, these guys out here, I'm not really sure what's going on here. Why are they appearing out here? They just appear out of thin air. I don't like that. Can we move this a little bit? Maybe everything together. I think that's gonna be a little bit better. Alright, I think I fixed this a little bit, but that's beside the point. Traffic should be a little bit better out here from now on. It is going to be still red a little bit out here, but that's because it's busy. But at least they're not spawning at whatever point and just appearing out of thin air. So that's a bit good of news. Also, I did get a little bit more money. So let's take a look what these guys actually need, and hopefully this fire is going to be put out a little quickly enough. So what exactly do these guys need? So it looks like elementary is good, high school might be what we need, and then a university. But do we even have a university? Institute of Creative Arts, we do have high capacity high school, community school, and prestigious school specializing in creative arts, educates teens, an alternative to the high school. So that might be something worth looking into. We might just put that out here. And I think we will do just that. Let's take a look at how big this guy actually is. So it's not that big. It's not that large. I like that. That's actually amazing. And what I'm thinking out here actually is we're gonna add a couple of fields first. There we go. And let's go with a community soccer out here. Obviously we're gonna be moving all of this. Oh, 25k, that's a little too much. I mean, there's a small soccer field which we could use. I mean, 25k, fine, we'll use that. Anything for my guys out here. And also this guy, Community American Football Park. I think we're going to be adding that out here as well. We're going to forgo the baseball field. I don't think we're going to need that out here, honestly. So let's just move these guys into their proper spaces. I think we're going to be putting this guy like right about here. I think this is going to be fine. Obviously, they do need a road. And I will give them a road. I just want to make sure that... Let's move this guy out of the way for now. And then we're just going to grab this road out here. Move this guy to right about there. This guy at about 90-degree angle. This is fine. And then all we gotta do is move these guys a little bit apart. Like so. And then there we go. This looks pretty good. I like that. Might need to play around just a little bit with this angle here. That looks a little bit better. There we go. So now we got that figured out. And we're gonna be putting this guy right about there. So that's fine. Oh, and we're out of electricity. There we go. Now we gotta up the electricity bill. 100% now. Perfect. I think that's gonna be more than enough. Just barely. But I think we're gonna be okay. So Institute of Creative Arts, that's 37,000. We don't have the time to wait, so we're gonna be doing it this way. Now we have all the money in the world that we need. Currently, obviously. So Institute of Creative Arts, I think we want to add this guy right about here. There we go. Then we want to add another road going out here. And then there's going to be parking on both sides. So let's go grab that. Yeah, let's grab some parking here, and I think this is going to be enough to fit both of these guys out here. Not quite sure, but I think so. So let's do a little bit of an experiment. I'm not sure why I'll constantly pausing the game. Oh, this is actually perfect. So let's do that. Nice. Okay, perfect. They have plenty of parking spaces. There is quite a few people learning out here now. And this looks like this could use a couple of parking spaces as well. Although, oh, just barely not big enough. Okay. Maybe something a little bit different. Let's take a look what kind of other parking spaces we got out here. I mean, we obviously got these small ones, which I would prefer not to use. But also use these paid ones, which we could use, and they're gonna fit in beautifully. But do we really want to take that from little elementary kids? Actually, you know what? This is an elementary school. So if we're going to be honest, I mean, they're not going to have so many people actually going out there in cars. It's mostly going to be buses whenever we're going to actually get those buses. So I think rather than doing that, we might actually need to put a couple of parking spaces for these guys out here. Just so we can actually make sure these guys are not parking here. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. And since mostly it's going to be grown-ups coming out here, I think I'm totally fine with putting a couple of these paid ones. There we go. So we got a couple of them out here. Everything's looking pretty nice, and I think we're gonna be putting a couple of them out here as well. Before we do that, let's probably turn this guy back on. It's gonna be helpful. And let's see here. Oh, what is it doing? I don't like what it's doing here. Alright, anyway. Now let's put this guy right there. Let's put that guy right there. And then we're just gonna be moving these guys right. Actually, no, you know what? You know what? We're gonna keep them as is. We're gonna keep them as is, because otherwise it's gonna be way too many turns for these guys out here. And I'm trying to avoid that because that's gonna be creating a lot of traffic. And no parking on these sides out here. Here we go, and no parking out here as well. These guys can be using these paid ones. Also no parking on these, because I'm sure they're going to be parking out there. I know these guys a little bit. And everything else I think is going to be just fine. So these guys should start upgrading here, and they are, which is perfect. Still not making enough money, however, and it looks like we need just a little bit more until we get busy town. We just need like 50 more people, so we gotta put a couple of more houses somewhere. Let's take a look. Where do we want to put low density? I think we could actually put a low density out here. I think this is a good enough spot for it. Here you go. Let's put a low density there. And that should be enough to bring us over the threshold of 5,500. And how many people do we currently have here? So we got 1,800, it's almost 2,000, but we need a lot more. And we should be getting that relatively soon. Actually, speaking of which, I think we actually need to move these guys out here. There you go, just move them a little bit so they're kind of in the middle. There you go, I like that. Let's take a look here. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 4, 7, 8. There we go. That's perfect. Oh, actually, hold on. Oh no, we get high density only at big town, so we need a lot more people. Oops. Okay, I screwed up a little bit here. I thought... Okay, never mind. We're still okay. We're just gonna continue on putting these guys out here. I guess we can actually... I did not want to do this, but we will have to destroy some of these trees out here. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. This is gonna be a bit of a setback, unfortunately. Because I thought, for some reason, I thought high density is gonna be at the previous threshold that we just got, but... oh well, life happens. Life happens, but that's alright, that's alright. We're gonna make something happen. And I think we're gonna be able to make something good happen out of it anyway. Just makes our objective a little bit tougher to get to, but I think overall still quite accessible. So I think we're gonna be just fine. I'm just looking where else I can put some of these paths just to help these guys out a little bit, and I think right here is gonna be a good one. Possibly out here as well. Perfect. And perhaps out here, like next to this house. Without destroying anything, there we go. All good. Last but not least, want to destroy these couple of things here. That's not needed. Nothing's needed there. And right there. I think this is good. I think this is going to be good. We might need a couple of more places for commercial. And I think right here is actually not that bad of a spot. So let's put commercial out here. We could also put a little bit more commercial out here. Actually, what we could do is make sure nothing is being built right there. This is fine. Nothing right there. That'll have to be as is. And just grab these guys out here. Bring them all the way here. That's good. Bring this guy up here. That's fine. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And just gonna add a couple of more pathways out here. Just so these guys have a couple of more ways of getting in without actually having to use a car. Is gonna be saving us. Yeah, like that guy right there, see? He gets it, he gets it. And there we go. Obviously, we're going to be putting a fence there at some point. Not now, however, not now. What else do we need in this little quadrant? I think actually we're going to be putting our first library. So these guys can actually learn something. Eventually, maybe, perhaps. And I want it to be like in a more central position. I mean, right here actually might be a good idea. Next to the high school. I mean, we already got every... that's just not fitting in. And I want those to be high rises. So we gotta find a good spot for this. Let's put this like right out here. That's gonna destroy a couple of buildings, but I'm totally fine with that. There you go. So we got our first library. These guys are gonna be going nuts. So these guys should start upgrading a little bit. Let's take a look. Educate more citizens to allow the buildings to be upgraded. Make sure your education facilities can handle. And I'm thinking they're talking about universities, which we currently do not have because we need 8,000 people for that. And we currently don't have that, unfortunately. And looking at this, we got 2,000 population in here. So we need quite a bit more. Oh, and I just made a fatal mistake. No! Oh, no. This was supposed to be one zone. It still will be. It still will be. If I don't screw up more than I already did, okay. Completely forgot to bring the zone out here. Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is gonna be bad. We're gonna lose a little bit of money right now, but we're gonna make it back in no time, so we should be in a decent position. Okay, yeah, we did lose quite a few people, but that's alright. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back eventually. And let's take a look at what we got going out here, because these guys are gonna need more jobs, so let's provide just that. Except for this guy out here. We don't want anybody being on this road. That's gonna be ridiculous. Although, no, they're not gonna be on this road. Never mind, never mind. They're gonna be in here because I already... Okay. Alright, we're fine. We're fine. And then, likewise, we're gonna put these guys out here. And then we're gonna be putting a bunch of trees out here to make this look good at some point in the future. Obviously not right now. We got bigger fish to fry. We gotta figure out what we're gonna be doing out here. So obviously these guys need a couple of more parks, like actual parks. Let's take a look at what we have. So we do have a large playground. I actually would not mind putting that. Like, where do I want to put this? Like right about here. I think that's gonna be fine. It reaches pretty much all the corners out here, which is exactly what we need. And now these guys are happy. Let's give these guys a carousel as well. And I'm thinking of putting this guy like right here in the corner. So that should be great. You guys are going to be happy about that. Alright guys, unfortunately the rest of the video I had to resort to making it a little bit faster just because it was taking way too long. And I'm pretty sure you guys do not want to sit here for the next hour or so waiting for me to get to that achievement here. Anyway, we are still a little bit too far out from having those 8,000 people where high density residential is gonna get unlocked. So I just put a bunch of residential all over the place out there, and unfortunately because of that we ran out of electricity, so I had to put a new plant. Hopefully that's gonna last me for a little bit while longer than the one sitting here. And also my garbage processing capabilities were not enough. Also, I took a look and the traffic on this highway was getting a bit ridiculous, and I had to make sure that these guys don't change lanes out there right off the bat because they were creating way too much traffic. It did get a little bit better after that, and everywhere else the traffic was okay-ish, so I didn't bother on doing anything else. And seeing that I'm still a little bit off my target, I decided to build a couple of more neighborhoods here. Continuing on, there was a demand for some commercial, so we added a little bit of that. Had to take a look around here because people were always getting stuck on that intersection, so fixed that. Nothing too serious going on there. And I was hoping that this would be the last addition for residential there, but unfortunately, I was wrong. That was not enough. That was still not enough. I'm thinking I decided to bite off a little bit more than I can chew with this particular goal that I set for myself, but I decided not to quit. I decided to go on. I decided to fight the urge to quit. And I decided to add a couple of more residential here, temporary residential. I will destroy this once I reach my target here, which should be here at any second, as you can see. There you go, big town unlocked. We unlocked a lot of stuff here, high density stuff, and then the university, which is needed very much. Anyway, so I went around destroying some of that low density residential here. I'm still debating if I'm gonna be making this whole district high density residential or not. But for right now, we're just going to be putting it here and there, a little bit all over the place. Just because I'm not looking to lose all of my population at once. I'd rather do that slowly. And unfortunately, I'm not really sure why I had to actually physically destroy low density residential out there. Because they just refused to go away, although I painted the area to be high density residential. So that was kind of weird. Anyway, guys needed a little bit more jobs, so I decided to add a couple of offices. That's pretty much it. I don't think they'll need anything else for now. If they do, we will cross that bridge once we get there, but not at the moment. For now, I'm just adding a couple of parking spaces all over the place because I don't want these guys to be parking on the streets too much, especially on my main roads. And as you can see, we still have a bit of problem here with garbage processing, so I had to add another plant. And we finally got these towers that look out for forest fires and stuff like that, so I had to add them because I was getting kind of tired of watching those trees burn. Unfortunately, I wasn't sure where I wanted to put firefighting helicopters, so I've decided to focus on my milestone here of getting those 7,000 people in this district out here. And it was time to add our first university. Decided to add it up there. We will add a couple of things for it later on, like a couple of fields or something like that. I'm not really sure yet. I just added university right now just because I need it. We might be moving it later on, but I'm not really sure at this point. For right now, that spot is as good as any, just because I just need these guys to start their education. And slowly, we are moving around and we are destroying these low density residentials. And slowly we are moving to our target. And we could not go too far without adding some high density commercial as well. I mean, I'm not building another space just to add commercial. We might as well add high density. And as you can see, that roundabout, that's always going to be busy. There's no getting around it. Maybe later on we'll add another entry point into that city, but for right now, that'll do. That'll do. And there we go. Pretty much all of my northern part of this district is high density already, which is kind of nice. And I've decided to add my firefighting helicopters out here. I'm gonna move it later on once I actually find a place for it. I just need it to be anywhere so it would start fighting those fires if they do arise. And I ran into a problem that I don't actually have enough cemeteries, so I had to add a couple of more because they were starting to fill up. And that's not good. That's not good. So I had to shift a couple of things around. Eventually I did find a decent enough spot, and that was nice. But we reached our target. There you go. There is over 7,000 people here, guys. Later on, I am gonna redo this whole area to be only high density, which is gonna be a lot of people living in that area. But the traffic was fine. So I can't really complain about that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Scorpion out.